In the conscious communication card set, there are 36 of these, which are Convo Killers. Now, something extraordinary happened when I was making these backgrounds. All of a sudden, I realized that if you value what's on the left here, or your left, my right, my left, your right. So if you value that, you create this. There's a way of that these things occur as a result of these values. So blah, 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 someone's talking on endlessly. They value dullness. They don't know how dull they are. Well, I'll give you a few more here. Why do we blame someone? Well, it's usually because we have awareness around something that they've done. And sometimes you can have a huge amount of awareness and you know exactly why something occurred. And so you end up blaming, but then it becomes a habit that's actually quite the downer. Ever been in a conversation where somebody butts in? A lot of times they can be a very charismatic person. They can be someone who is very vivacious and charming, and they use that to butt into the conversation. You know, usually people who are the most dismissive are quite intelligent, and they become dismissive because they are intelligent. Usually when someone is doing a diversion is they're trying to divert you away from something. And so usually it's because they are in stealth mode. They value stealth. They don't really want to learn about something. So they use the old diversion card. A lot of times when people freak out, it can be because they're very excitable and they're enthusiastic in general, but then it goes into the negative side of things. And so what used to be enthusiasm becomes the freak out. Hijack is kind of like the butt in, but the hijack is you completely take over the conversation. And a lot of times that happens because someone has a lot of charisma and they're able to do it, thus resulting in the hijack. When do the biggest power struggles happen? It happens because people are in love. People love each other, but they reach a point in the relationship where now each of them is trying to get what their needs met, but may not be getting it in the way that they can. And so this creates quite a dynamic in some relationships. I know myself that whenever I go on a big rant, it's because I feel there is some injustice occurring. And so if I value justice and I want to see it in the world and I don't, I'm going to go on a rant. You ever notice that someone who's very authentic and wants to be authentic and is talking about authenticity most of the time, they're just lost in some self-absorption? That's quite an incredible thing that can happen. We have to watch out for that because I think that's true for us all. Why do we shame someone? It's because we're passionate about something in our life. We may be passionate about God. We may be passionate about some type of moral high ground. And because of it, we're going to shame people who don't reach that kind of bar. So watch out for your passion. I guess when we're deep in our own sob story, it's because we feel there's a lack of caring out there, which means we actually value caring. And a lot of times that doesn't actually occur in society. So we have to watch that because no one really cares about our sob story. Ever been around someone who's really spaced out? A lot of times they're probably on some drug or they're just really relaxed. And so they come across as a very different type of person, usually too spaced out for what most people are able to handle. Squawking is when you're talking within a soundscape that is music, and it can be very irritating to musicians or anyone who has a good ear for music and doesn't want to hear you're talking. So they're basically in a habit of talking the way they want, where they want. They don't really care about the surroundings. And so that habit blanks them out as to the effect that they're having on the soundscape and the beauty of the music. Very irritating. You can be at a party, you can be around people, and you really kill the vibe. And you kill the vibe either with a downer or being very passionate in an arena that other people have no interest in. So you got to watch your passions because your passions can just kill the convo easily. The wet blanket is such a formidable convo killer. I mean, I've been around some of the best, and you can just be taken out almost instantaneously. And it's usually because they're being very honest about something. They're being honest about what they think, what they see, but basically it just kills your motivation almost instantly. Well, this is a message to all planetary guardians that are trying to be better communicators. You got to look at what convo killers that you're doing, what convo killers are coming at you, and what is at the source of why they're there. because most of the time we're seeing a symptom, we're not seeing the cause. And so the more you understand values, the more you understand how values that are out of place or out of balance become something negative. So find out what yours are, get rid of them, find out what the others are, get rid of them, or just use them even more. You know, they can be very powerful.